microphones, papers, and such. Item number 1, do we have any citizen concerns from anything that is not already on the agenda? Hearing none, item 2, approval of the agenda.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Monson. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Items 3 through 7 constitute a consent agenda or routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 3, approval of the minutes of the October 5th meeting. 4, approval of claims. 5, county treasurer. A, approval of resolution for abatement of taxes for initials TH. B, approval of resolution for abatement of taxes for initials P and VP. C, approval of resolution for abatement of taxes for initials KR. D, approval of resolution for abatement of taxes for initials ML. E, approval of resolution for abatement of taxes for initials LA. F is approval of resolution for abatement of taxes for City of Sioux City.
I would like to point out that C is not me.
We'd have to have a long talk, Mr. Raddick, if that was the case. 6, juvenile detention. Received juvenile detention September population report. 7, county auditor receive auditor's quarterly report. Are there any questions or concerns about anything on the consent agenda?
I'll move the consent agenda.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Item 8, Siouxland Chamber of Commerce. Introduction of Christie Franz and the Executive Director of the Sioux City Regional Convention and Visitor Bureau.
All right, well, good afternoon. Thanks for having us back here again. I'm Barbara with the Siouxland Chamber of Commerce, but really here to talk about Sioux City Regional Convention and Visitors Bureau. So I wanted to start by saying again, thank you for your partnership. We're off and running, I think, to a great start. And I'm here to introduce today Christie Franz, who is our new Executive Director, has been here for 2 months. We're really excited to have her, and I'm going to let her kind of give an update on where we've been and maybe just tell you a little bit about her background. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Christie Franz, and I am, like Barbara said, the new Executive Director for the Sioux City Regional Convention and Visitors Bureau. I was actually raised here in Siouxland from the time I was 5 until I was halfway through high school, but my family has deep roots in this community or in Woodbury County, and so it's exciting to be back home, and I have a background with tourism. I'm coming from Independence, Missouri. I was the tourism manager for the city of Independence, so I oversaw the historic sites, the marketing for the community. We had over 150 volunteers that operated our historic sites for us, and so oversaw that program as well. Previous to that, I was the director for tourism for the city of Warrensburg, Missouri, and I was also the coordinator for the Chamber of Commerce there in Whiteman Air Force Base. So I've lived a lot of places. I was a military spouse for 26 years, so I've lived all over the country. But when this opportunity came up to come back home to Sioux City and put together my love of tourism and love for the Siouxland area, it was a perfect fit. So it's great to be back home. Just wanted to give you a little update on what I've been doing since I got here. I've been just kind of reviewing what had been done before I got here, just the different partnerships that we have. Recently started working on a job description for a second staff member. We hope to hire that in the next 30 to 45 days. We have submitted an RFP for tourism marketing services because we are seeing an uptick in the need for additional marketing, and so we're looking for somebody to come and help assist with that. We've created an application for partner event sponsorships, so when big events come into town, especially for sporting events, they look for partnerships with the Convention and Visitors Bureau to help bring those bigger events into town. And I know that getting out and really networking with our tourism partners, with the state, and actually all 3 states, Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska. So I've actually already attended the Upper Midwest Convention Visitors Bureau conference and then the Western Iowa Tourism Region meeting. And so I've already got some really good relationships working with the state, and hoping they've asked me to be on the review committee for their grant applications. And so while I wasn't here in time to get in on this grant cycle, I will be able to have a really good idea of what they're looking for next year. So when it comes time to apply for grants from the state, we'll be in a good position for that. And currently we have 14 lodging partners that are signed up as partners with the CBB. And I don't know if you have any questions for me, but.
Well, welcome back first.
Well, thank you.
So, anybody?
Thank you.
Very good, thank you very much. We're a couple minutes early. Any reports on committee meetings?
I gotta check my schedule.
I was gone all week, so I didn't have any committees.
Mr. Reddick?
Well, I know I had a workforce development meeting, and, you know, I discussed, you know, we talked about lowering our quorum number down to 7 from the 10 that it was. And I said that, you know, it probably was going to require some sort of change or amendment to the 28E for that region. So that may be coming up at some point to be on our agenda. So.
I'm pretty sure Matthew hasn't had any committee meetings.
Nope. Where are you in the world, Matthew?
What's that?
Where are you?
Athens.
Well, good. Still have a couple minutes left.
I can tell you that I called in last week, and Matthew might be able to speak to this. Voices came and left, in and out, and there was a buzz on the line.
Yeah, it was definitely substandard. I'm looking forward to that upgrade.
And as it happens, I will be at the IT meeting tomorrow, and afterwards I'm going to speak with Chief Malloy on that to probably try and decide how to proceed with the new AV system that will be down here in the near future. So I'll be reporting back on that next week, I suppose. Still have a minute left. Do we have any round 2 of citizen concerns?
Are these hearing of voices anything related to that Prairie Hills?
Not that we know of yet.
Did we ever find anything on that report?
They have not finished their report yet.
I was also wondering if there was any incidents of Sasquatch sightings on or around Prairie Hills.
I was in Wisconsin, and they were asking the same thing up there. Mark, did you look
Yeah,
into the Lane Bubke thing? Jasper Street? He's got a rise in the intersection, Jasper and something.
We talked about that.
Okay.
Matthew, you said something before we go to our set time?
Yeah, I was asking if you had an authority meeting today.
Oh, we did. Just a couple of updates on some of the going forward. The plate situation is done as far as the settlement, as far as the what they call a surcharge, and they've been working on starting to put the driveway in from about the right-of-way line on into the, they're hoping to be done with that in the next couple of weeks. But other than that, not a lot so far, weather permitting. All right, we are at a set time of 4:40, Community and Economic Development. A is public hearing on ordinance for zoning district map to rezone GIS parcel ending in 004 owned by Flewelling Farms LLC to Ag Estates.
Good
Good afternoon, Supervisors. Dan Priestley, Zoning Coordinator on behalf of David Gleiser, Director. Llewellyn Farms has filed an application for a zoning ordinance map amendment on parcel 894634300004 from limited industrial to the agricultural estate zoning district to facilitate a boundary adjustment under the subdivision ordinance, where they intend to combine this parcel, 7.293 acres, with their existing abutting parcel. This parcel is located in section 34, southwest quarter of southwest quarter, Concord Township, Township 89, range 46 west. It's not located in the floodplain. All the proper legal notifications have been posted in the Sioux City Journal for the public hearings. The neighbors have been notified and the stakeholders, and we have not received any comments or any objection on this proposal.
As we are in public hearing, do we have anybody that would like to speak for or against this?
Hearing none, I would move to go out of public hearing.
Second. Motion by Monson, second by DeWitt to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Item B, conduct the second reading of the ordinance as the final reading, waive the third reading, and adopt the ordinance.
Need a motion on that?
Yeah, I'll
Move it.
Okay, second.
Motion by Monson, second by Radig. Any final comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's 4:42, Mr. Auditor. Can we start the next one, or should we wait? I got them. Yeah, go ahead. So, item 10, secondary roads. Public hearing and approve the establishment of a level B road system.
For the board's information, have you received any letters, or I've received calls from about 4 landowners who had requested that gravel roads that were being considered for inclusion in the level B system be removed. A couple of those roads are feed lots and were needed year-round. In checking with our maintenance staff, they are plowing the roads anyway. Looking at the area needs, and this is something you can't pull off an aerial photo, but you can when you get out and work with folks who are taking care of roads for. I concurred with the requests for the removal of those roads, and we'll keep them we'll take them out of the level B proposal and add them to the roads that are going to receive the same level of maintenance that they currently are. If you remember on the map, there were 3 levels of roads. The red ones were level B. The gray ones were roads that would see no change in maintenance. The green roads are the roads that are headed for an upgrade. So I'll read off the ones that the residents had requested to keep. 180th Street between Story and Taylor. 220th Street between Safford Avenue and Taylor Avenue, and then Taylor Avenue south of 220th. That is in the neighborhood of a couple of fairly heavy cattle feeding operations, and I concur with the need for it. Received a call this afternoon about 280th Street between Story and Taylor as well, and I concurred with that one. I also sent an email with the board package that I had received from a county resident who had requested a different road be pulled out. Let's see if I've got that in the packet here. He was requesting Lenox Avenue between Highway 20 and 160th Street. This is a short half-mile segment They use it for slow-moving equipment getting up and down. It is a road that we also tended to plow in the winter, even though we don't have homes located on it. And that's the case with all of the roads that I read off to you. They didn't have residences on it. Looking at the aerials, it's hard to tell a cattle operation from a pasture from a cornfield when you try and look at it from the 30,000-foot level. So again, after speaking with the affected residents, these are roads that need minimal work, but could remain within the system where they're still receiving snow removal. Other than that, I've heard nothing from any other individuals who are opposing to or had concerns about level B. If there's somebody on the phone, I don't know.
So just so I'm clear, for the gentleman that wrote in the email here, Mr. Morgan, you're satisfied, he's satisfied with the way it's going to go forward?
Yes, you know, as long as he still has access and use to that road and it's not allowed to go to a level of maintenance that's below what it's already receiving, it'll still suit their farm needs.
Right,
It's easy to see where his properties are on both sides of it.
I'm not trying to pick him out, but for those that are out there, I want to make sure that,
Yeah, Paul Boyle had called in, Darwin Heyman had called in. I can't remember the name of Darwin's other neighbor who called in with concerns about some of the same roads in that area there, in between that Correctionville and Cushing area.
but to your knowledge, they're going to be satisfied with what we do going forward with,
They will be satisfied as long as
Okay.
we don't put the roads that I've read off into the level B system.
okay?
So hearing no other concerns at this point, my recommendation will be I'll bring a resolution back to the board for consideration next week to adopt the level B system with the roads we've discussed deleted from that resolution. That would be for board approval. We would then sign the roads that with the level B minimum maintenance, enter at your own risk signs.
Okay.
So we need to go out of the
We
hearing.
need to close the public hearing, I guess.
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second?
Motion by Raddick, second by Monson to, close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0.
I think these roads are also common in our neighboring counties, and we're one of the few that has no roads posted in. I don't think this comes as a particular surprise to anybody that we're taking a look at this type of action to warn people on roads that don't get snow removal, that don't get the same usual level of maintenance, and try and keep folks from getting into trouble, as was related to us on the proposed Garner Avenue closure that we looked at earlier this year.
Item B.
We got to move the establishment of the level B road system. Or,
Yeah, we could approve the establishment with the deduction of the ones listed, and I'll make sure we get it.
so I'll
I
move,
did have that as part of the package that was,
Do you want to state that motion for Mr. Gill then?
so I will move the amended level B road system as proposed by our engineer.
Second?
Motion by Raddick, second by Monson. You got that, Mr. Gill? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Passes 4-0.
and if there are roads that prove later to be an inconvenience for people and they want to approach us about roads that are in that level B system, that's something that the board can consider by simple resolutions.
Okay, thank you. 10B, approve the plans for the Oak Ridge Park project.
We were successful in an application to the Hungry Canyons Alliance to assist us with a 48-inch drop structure and repair of a dike in the Oak Ridge Park area just west of Odo. That embankment had failed a number of years ago. Conservation Department requested we work with them to look at funding and repair. We have finished plans for that. We'd like to go to a letting. I'm thinking the first Tuesday in November.
Where's the funding for this come from? Is it out of your budget or?
It comes out, the Hungry Canyons grant is granted to the Board of Supervisors to pay. Conservation then pays the remaining percentage, I think it's 20%? Yes. Of the Country Canyons grant.
Okay.
Conservation has the money to do this. We've assisted them in the preparation of plans and specifications for letting.
So it's not, is that a general fund?
It's out of their conservation budget, is what I understand.
Okay.
I don't have Dan here to tell me which budget he's pulling it out of, but I was assured that they had the funding to cover this repair.
Okay. I just didn't know if this could qualify as a water infrastructure type project.
I'll move to approve the plans for the Oak Ridge Park project.
Second.
Motion by DeWitt, second by Monson. Any further questions for Mark? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Passes 4-0. Item C, approved proposal from Uratech for $82,000 US dollars for culvert repair on County Road D50 west of Union.
Upon my arrival here after the 2008 flood, we had problems with pavement settlement over top of a 9-foot diameter culvert that's 210 feet long under County Road D50. This would be pretty much straight east of Anthon. Well, no, it wouldn't be south and east of Anthon on County Road D50. We found voids underneath the culvert. We had pumped grout into them. We had put a new head wall on the culvert to prevent it from being undermined. We actually had water running on both sides of the culvert, outside of the culvert itself. So we've done all the repair work to seal off both the inlet and the outlet end. We feel we've got a good job on that, but we have noticed in the past 20 months roughly that the pavement is still settling on top. To repair this, I looked at 3 options. One is Uratech. They're a company that uses an expanding foam for this purpose. Nebraska DOT has a standing contract for this kind of work around culverts. They do dynamic cone penetrometer tests to determine where the voids are around the culvert, and then they inject that foam and they actually raise that pavement back up. The option repair, as I laid out in my memo, was to go out and dig the culvert down, replace the backfill around that culvert, bring it back up to grade level, and then repave. That would probably be a month-long project to do that work. Slightly higher in cost for us based on our estimate than the Uratech option. Final option would be to replace the culvert. We did an inspection of the culvert going all the way through. It's 10 gauge material in the roof, 8 gauge material in the bottom. The culvert is in good condition. There's no reason we can't expect to get 20 to 25 years out of it. So the replacement of $500,000 would be not money well spent. I think this Uratech process is worth giving a try. We have other places where there's a potential for it to work. Pottawatomie County, Lancaster County in Nebraska both swear by this process, and the folks that have come in and done the work. They put a 2-year warranty on it, so once they get that pavement up to the correct level, if it settles by more than, I think it's 3/4 of an inch in the next 24 months, they will come back and review their repair and, once again, pump material under there in an attempt to fill the voids. So they're backing their work. Again, I think it's worth a try, and it's the least costly repair option that I had in the toolbox right now.
Where's Uratech out of?
They are out of Texas.
Really?
They have crews and salespeople that are dotted around the country. Kevin Strumpf, the guy who came out, is our regional project manager. He hits Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Illinois, Missouri.
Makes sense to me.
Move it.
Second? Motion by Monson, second by DeWitt. C.
This is C.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Passes 4-0. 10D, receive bids for gravel production and return them to the county engineer for review and recommendation.
We have 2 bids for gravel production. This is at the Peters Pit. This would be next to the shooting range at south of Correctionville. We had thought we were done with gravel down there, but doing some additional exploration, we feel there's some additional gravel that can be gained out of the area that lays between the road and where the current lake shore is. It would also give the county parks a fishing resource when we're all said and done. At least a portion of this gravel will be utilized in the gravel road improvement program. First bid is from Bedrock Gravel Incorporated. They're the folks that did the Brazy Pit for us. Estimated 80,000 tons to excavate and crush gravel, $555 per ton, for a total of $444,000. Producing 10,000 tons of wash sand that we use for snow removal, de-icing. We were looking at having 10,000 tons produced since we have a ready water source. They're proposing $2.50 per ton for a total of $25,000. Total bid proposal, $469,000. The second bid is from Hallett. Their bid price is $7.60 per ton for a total of $608,000. Wash sand, $4 per ton for a total of $40,000. Total bid price, $648,000. I recommend the board receive the quotes.
I'll move to receive.
Motion by Radig to receive, second by DeWitt. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Passes 4-0.
We have a very clear winner here. I recommend award to Bedrock Gravel Incorporated.
I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Radig to award the bid, second by Monson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. I didn't wait for you, did I, Matthew?
I said aye.
Okay, passes 4-0.
So did we river sance this last week?
Yes, we did.
Which brings us all the way to board concerns.
None.
Take your time, Keith.
Yeah, no, I guess if I can't remember, then it wasn't that important.
Okay.
All right.
I have none at the moment either. We are adjourned.